Well, good morning, and thank you to the Association for the permission to speak, if you will. From being sat on your side of the stage on a number of occasions, I'm well aware that when someone who's a sales manager, as I am, jumps up behind the lectern, there's a fear of dread goes into everybody, and it's, oh no, another new product. I'm going to try and steer things to a bit more holistic and a sort of helicopter view to explain NEG and our position for 50 years. As you can see, I'm not from Japan. As you can see, I am over 50. So we'll try and keep this as a nice whistle-stop tour of where we've been, and within 20 minutes. So in 1949, NEG separated from NEC, and we worked our way through with these various milestones in our history, and the most recent ones, which is why it's sort of relevant to give this talk today, have happened since you guys all met in 2015. And that was with NEG's globalization. It acquired the production facilities of what was PPG in Europe, which included UK at the time, in 2016, and then we completed that with the acquisition and sort of mergers and joining together of NEG's facilities in the US with PPG's in 2017. They're the sort of highlights of how NEG has come through. So where we are, we'll start on the left. That's where we are right now. We've got two facilities, and this is given, as I said, a broad brush of who NEG are, and we'll focus in a little later onto some of the topics that John touched on yesterday with sustainability, and also where the AR fibre is coming from. So the global network of NEG, we have facilities in the UK for fibre production, facilities in the Netherlands for fibre production. Moving our way across, we've got headquarters in Japan, production facilities in Malaysia, and over to the US, we have two production facilities and a sales office. So clearly, truly globally available for you guys and to service you. For those who don't know, glass fibre production is extremely complicated, and I've tried to dumb this down to a sort of schematic level, hopefully just so to convey some of the conditions, some of the temperatures, some of the challenges that we face. And these are relevant for all products. So for those who don't know, and this will be quick, the minerals will come in silo form from the tankers through a melting process, which will take the minerals through 1500 plus degrees C, which is easy to talk about, but until you stood up close and personal, it's pretty difficult to convey exactly what 1500 degrees C feels like. It's not something you want to do so often. And then, from then, the process where we are attenuating the fibres, people think about it as we're continuing a process of controlled cooling rather than heating. And then, when we have the fibre at this stage here, we then have various processes where we configure either the packaging so it can be a continuous run, or we assemble the rovings, or we chop the strands to the fibres that you guys see and you use day in, day out. So how is that technology evolving as we move through and on to the next 50 years and beyond? Well, we've come from oil-fired, marble melt, preconditioning before minerals with a direct melt continuous filament fibres were formed. And we're now moving from gas to gas with oxygen to enrich the flame, supporting that with electric boost, and on we'll have no flame. So everything will be done electrically, which is exactly how we are producing the AR fibre today. So it's a really low environmental footprint for our AR fibre, which is just exactly what we need as we move forward. Now, NEG's been in this business for 50 years, and that's happened through diligence, knowledge, and constant learning and evolving. As we transition each of our melting technologies and enable us to be here onward with the ever-growing challenges of sustainability and lowering our carbon footprint, we need to understand more. And this short model is one way that we are doing this. We can see we've studied the melting of the minerals into the glass, and this enables us to establish eddy currents in the furnace. So we have a metric for sort of residence time, which is how long the minerals are in the furnace, becoming homogeneous, repeatable, reproducible, and of quality. So along with this, we have very low emissions, and it's just a truly efficient next generation manufacturing philosophy. Now, this is some of the wider properties of glass, and I've highlighted just briefly where we are, the resistance to alkali. Now, there's many, many others. I said there was a broad business of NEG for fibre and glass. Truly, it's our core business, and the resistance of its ability to resist the alkali environment is one thing that is clearly close to our hearts, and that's demonstrated here. Now, we know ARG is a sort of wonderfully unique in that it must retain its properties in the harsh environment that we subject it to. That's achieved through the composition, which we need to be greater than 16% zirconia, we are. By way of sort of context in what I've been saying so far with our business, the AR fibre is wonderfully unique, but also small in context with the rest of the business. NEG is making over 1 million tonnes of glass fibre. That's less than 1% is the AR fibre, but it's close to our hearts because it's unique and it's been around for 50 years. And it is enabling all of the technologies that we want to be a part of. Now, our other 1 million tonnes are going into wind turbines, electrification of vehicles, a sustainable future, you might say. And we want that to be enabled with our AR fibre as much as we do with our e-glass fibre. These are some of the examples which you will know far better than I know, but it does open the door to greater design flexibility. Crucially, and for sustainability, off-site, high-quality, factory-based, measured production. And for the construction industry, off-site is something that needs to evolve. These are just some other examples. And we saw yesterday with the Tottenham Court Road and the London Underground, it's the way forward, really is. And do take a chance to go and have a look at that. New stations on the Elizabeth line, they're fabulous. What this then leads on to is how are we going to actually be here for another 50 years? One of the things that is ever present in our discussions in the sort of, as we promote other industries, other glass, is this idea of scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. And if that's not on anyone's desk yet, it will be in the coming weeks and months. And essentially this guides us to look at our incoming materials, our downstream materials, and our direct materials, and how we can reduce our impact, reduce our CO2 or CO2 equivalents, and our product carbon footprint. Now that comes with cost, as we sort of look to bring on compositions that have a lower CO2, they generally require higher melting temperatures. And as we know, the last year, energy prices have gone absolutely through the roof, everywhere. But we are still staying on our path. We are going to be here for another many, many years with AR Fibre, so don't panic. We are going to keep going. And as we do so, we'll be keeping going through to 2030 and beyond until 2050, when we've set a target to be carbon neutral. Those reductions, now, I've had to tailor this slide because there's some numbers that can be associated with each of those bars on the graph. We need an NDA before we go any further with them, so we haven't got time for that. But the investment is happening. And how are we going to do it? We're going to look at our manufacturing process, promoting, as I mentioned, electrical melting, increased efficiency, energy-saving equipment in the plants. That means LED lighting, PIRs to control them, improvements of the forming process, that's how we attenuate the fibres, automation, which is an ever-present goal as we look to increase our efficiency. With our utilities, upgrade to high-efficiency equipment, elimination of high-demand materials, optimise our operations, and then as we go on with our technology, look for opportunities that will include hydrogen to support our melting. Clearly, hydrogen, if anyone is involved in understanding what the pressure vessels that are going to be needed, just containing hydrogen with its molecular size is just a task in itself. But also, which we're able to do quite successfully globally, is to invest in and secure renewable energy for our own facilities, which feeds into our Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 targets. A short video which will convey some of the messages that I've mentioned. Now, this is NEG focused. Some of it is NEG UK focused. So for those based in the UK, it'll mean a little bit more, but it does convey the sense of importance that we attach to.
We're on a mission to discover and develop better ways to manufacture essential products that reinforce the world around us. Through collaboration, investment and innovation, we're evolving manufacturing processes, enabling the development of greener products and technologies, and supporting the push towards a sustainable future. Our process involves melting locally sourced natural minerals at temperatures of 1,600 degrees to create the purest molten glass. The glass is directed from the furnaces and cooled so it can be run through plates which create the fibre at varying widths depending on their use. Fibres are drawn from the molten glass onto spools and dried in electric ovens powered by renewable electricity. The result is an essential material for wind turbines, electric vehicles, the construction industry, and a backbone of the green economy, helping to lead a greener, more sustainable future. Through a carbon neutral plan, we're committed to and are currently testing proof of concept and scalability of an all-electric furnace to decarbonise our business. We're on target to being the first in Europe to install this technology and the first worldwide in the fiberglass sector. And after creating a digital twin, we have developed a proposal for automation of some of our processes. This will help secure the plant into the future. We play a significant role in the lives of over 2,000 families across the Northwest and the UK. And by exporting over 90% of our product volume, we bring £65 million into the UK economy. Despite rising energy costs, we're committed to providing valuable jobs to our local community and supporting the government's levelling up agenda with green industry jobs in the Northern Powerhouse. Our future is bright. Working with partners, we have plans to develop new opportunities for growth in hydrogen storage and transport, as well as sharing our knowledge and best practices, leading to a greener approach to manufacturing. Our vision is to create a stronger, more sustainable future for everyone.
Okay, so NEG has been in the business for more than 50 years, growing, evolving throughout that time. We face a key step in that evolution as we develop products for ever-expanding markets and that are realising the properties, benefits of glass. In parallel, we look to ensure that those technologies are aligned with our 2050 carbon neutral programme, and then that will alongside bring automation and intelligent use of the right fibres, recognising that there are many of the right fibres that will bring a sustainable future for all of us. NEG will continue its development and wants to partner with like-minded customers, and as you know, NEG is not vertically integrated. We are a fibre supplier and focus our efforts on our core business, letting our customers, that's you, focus on your key businesses. We believe this focused partnership will ensure we are alongside you for at least another 50 years, more. And going forward, we'll continuously strive to build a brighter future by uncovering the unlimited possibilities of glass. And we look forward to your ongoing support. Now, if there's any questions, obviously we'll be next door, and there's a small team of us available for questions should you have any, and we'll take them at the end on the panel as well.
I think it's better to take the questions afterwards.
Take the questions afterwards, by all means, yeah. So, am I there? We on? So there's my details. You'll have the others as well. The business cards are all available. Thank you.
Thank you.